We were all elected to serve the interests of our people, not our own personal interests. Failure to deliver services is an infringement of the basic rights of residents and our citizens more broadly. Let me address the issue of running water as an example. No one should go more than a day without running water, while there is a deafening silence from the municipal offices about when water will be restored. We must remind ourselves of the National Treasury's
President Cyril Ramaphosa, General Nhlanhla Sibusiso, and the African National Congress are now locked in one of the most explosive political battles South Africa has seen in years. Ramaphosa's words of reassurance have been met with disbelief. Mkhwanazi's accusations have rattled the foundations of power, and the ANC stands exposed before a restless nation demanding answers. The story began with a shocking revelation. Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi accused Police Minister Senzo Mchunu and Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya of colluding with crime syndicates, suppressing investigations, and burying evidence of political killings. These were not whispers of corruption. They were accusations made openly, backed by claims of digital evidence and internal SAPS memos. For a country already bruised by crime, corruption, and mismanagement, the impact was immediate. Ramaphosa announced that Mchunu would be placed on leave and promised a judicial commission of inquiry. But for many South Africans, this sounded all too familiar. Commissions, task teams, and endless NEC meetings are what the ANC has always offered. But justice, accountability, and action are what citizens never seem to see. It was in this environment that public frustration exploded. Ordinary people said Ramaphosa was speaking like an opposition leader rather than the president of a ruling party. His speeches were seen as hollow, filled with promises, but empty of solutions. The ANC, once the party of liberation, is now accused of being the very source of decay, corruption, and failure. Communities on the ground feel the betrayal most deeply. When water systems collapse due to sabotage and looting, when municipalities fail, when electricity falters, Ramaphosa's words mean little. Citizens say it is all talk, talk, talk. The ANC holds endless lekotlas and conferences while real problems multiply. And nowhere is this anger sharper than in the city of Johannesburg. Under the leadership of Mayor Dada Marero, the ANC faces fierce criticism. Residents call him unqualified, a man unable to lead the largest metro in South Africa. Some even argue that in the real world, he would not last in an ordinary job, yet under ANC patronage he holds one of the most powerful municipal offices in the country. This frustration feeds into the larger picture of why Mkhwanazi's role matters so much. Here is a man standing against an institution rotten from within. His words cut through the layers of excuses. By publicly exposing corruption inside SAPS, he broke the code of silence that has long kept officials untouchable. Ramaphosa's handling of this crisis may define his presidency. Instead of demonstrating decisive action, he appears trapped in the same cycle as his party: delay, commissions, and endless reassurances. Citizens are asking a simple question: if the president himself cannot bring change, then who can? The ANC's credibility is hanging by a thread. Every scandal chips away at its history of liberation. Every act of corruption, every collapse of service delivery, and every unanswered whistleblower erodes the last reserves of trust. The Mkhwanazi scandal has become a mirror reflecting how far the party has fallen. What exactly happens if Mkhwanazi's evidence is proven true? The implications are massive. It could trigger resignations at the highest level, arrests of senior officials, and a political earthquake inside the ANC. But if the evidence is ignored or buried, the consequences may be even more dangerous: public rage, loss of hope, and the final collapse of trust in institutions. Imagine living in a community where crime is rampant, gangs rule the streets, and the police are accused of protecting the very criminals you fear. That is not imagination for millions of South Africans. That is reality. And now, even the leadership tasked with fixing it stands accused of betrayal. Did you expect such a twist? that a high-ranking police general would confront his own leadership so openly? For many, it was unthinkable. For others, it was overdue. Mkhwanazi's decision has altered the conversation about corruption in South Africa. It has raised the stakes. Civil society has reacted quickly. Opposition parties are demanding urgent reforms. The Democratic Alliance has highlighted corruption at SAPS College Philippi, pointing to mismanagement, sexual harassment, and financial abuse. These are not isolated scandals. They are proof of a system infected from top to bottom. South Africans are weary of the ANC's cycle of denial. They want names, they want prosecutions, they want to see leaders fall. They want to believe that justice still has meaning. But every time the ANC responds with just talk, another layer of trust dies. Ramaphosa, in the eyes of many, is no longer the reformer he promised to be. Instead, he is seen as the manager of decline, a leader trapped between protecting his party and protecting his people. And when forced to choose, critics argue, he always chooses the ANC first. This perception is deadly for a president. Once people believe your words are performance, once they believe you are acting only to cover up, nothing you say can restore trust. Ramaphosa is in that place now, and every public appearance only fuels suspicion. Do you believe justice has been served so far? Or do you see this as another scandal that will fade, another file to be buried? These are the questions millions are asking as the scandal grows. The ANC itself must confront its survival. Can it reform, or is it doomed to collapse under the weight of corruption? Can it rebuild trust, or has the betrayal gone too far? Mkhwanazi's accusations have forced these questions into the open. Meanwhile, communities suffer. Mothers worry for their children in gang-controlled neighborhoods. Small businesses shut down under constant extortion. Families lose loved ones to violence. These are not abstract problems. They are lived tragedies, and they demand answers. The international community is watching too. Investors see risk. Tourists see danger. Businesses see instability. Corruption does not only weaken a country's soul, it weakens its economy. The ANC's failures are costing South Africa its future. And so the choice is stark. Either this scandal becomes the turning point that sparks reform, or it becomes yet another chapter in the ANC's long decline.
Mkhwanazi has played his part.
The evidence must now be tested. Action must follow. Without it, hope will vanish. If you believe this fight matters, if you believe corruption must end, hit the like button. Share this video so the truth spreads wider. Comment below. Do you still trust Cyril Ramaphosa, the ANC, or SAPS? And subscribe for more real stories that expose corruption, reveal truth, and fight for accountability. Because South Africa deserves better, and the fight for justice will not end until real change comes.